Adrian Newey, Formula One's greatest car designer, sat down with Eddie Jordan at the Monaco Historic Grand Prix for a public interview at which he revealed a huge amount about his future plans. Since the announcement that he would be leaving the Red Bull F1 team, speculation over Adrian's future has been all over the place, but as a very private person who prefers to avoid the F1 press mob, speculation is all it has been. Will he be taking on one final challenge? Or have the overly prescriptive technical regulations finally taken the fun out of the job for him? Let's check out what he had to say. When Newey joined Red Bull in 2006, the move was seen as career suicide due to Red Bull's party reputation and a prejudice in F1 that a non-car company could ever succeed. Newey joined Red Bull from McLaren as Chief Technical Officer ahead of the 2006 season, switching from a powerhouse, championship-challenging outfit to a team in just its second season and with a reputation for not taking Grand Prix racing seriously. David Coulthard would deliver the team's first podium at that year's Monaco GP, and in celebration, team boss Christian Horner would memorably jump into the team's swimming pool wearing nothing but a red cape. That didn't exactly change opinions of themselves in that first year. However, under Newey's technical leadership, the Red Bull factory was completely overhauled and eventually blossomed into one of the most successful teams in F1 history, with 118 wins and 7 drivers and 6 constructors' crowns to date. That is all coming to a close now though, as the shifting dynamics of Red Bull in the post-Mateschitz era has taken its first casualty. Adrian will depart by the first quarter of 2025, with Ferrari, Aston Martin and Williams all keen on securing his services, although nothing has been signed as of yet. Reflecting on the initial decision to join Red Bull, Newey said, "Many people thought it was pretty suicidal at the time. At the end of 2005, going from McLaren, where we'd won 10 races, to this startup team that, in truth, kind of had this reputation of being the party team," he told Eddie Jordan during an Oyster Yachts function at the Monaco Historic. Knowing where we would get to win the first race and get a 1-2 with Sebastian and Mark, and then go on and win the championship in 2010, and everything that's happened since, to walk away from that was a very hard decision. It was a decision I felt I needed to make for a whole host of reasons. It was a difficult decision because they've been my family, and I feel slightly, not paternal, but with a degree of responsibility. But the team is now very mature. Red Bull are his team, as much as they are Christian Horner's. The decision to leave all of that behind, to abandon the behemoth he's built, can't have been an easy one to take. But with the decision made, Adrian and the F1 world's attention turned to what comes next. The first question Eddie asked of Adrian was what were his plans for the future? Was he going to focus on his yacht work with Oyster? Was he going to look at other series such as the WEC? Or was he after one final challenge in Formula One? Newey began with a smile. It's a popular question at the moment. I think the easiest way to answer that is if you'd asked me 15 years ago, at the age of 65, would I seriously be considering changing teams, going somewhere else, and doing another 4-5 years or whatever, I'd have said you're absolutely mad. However, he went on to say that as he's gotten closer to this point, he's realized that retiring now is actually the last thing he wants to do. He spoke about how the brain is a muscle, and if you don't exercise it, it wastes away, and that's the last thing he wants, especially after seeing the effect an early retirement had on his father. He finished by saying, "Honestly, I've wanted to work in motor racing as a designer since I was the age of 8 or 10, and I've been lucky enough to fulfill that ambition, to have got that first job and been in motor racing ever since. Every day has just been a bonus, really. I love what I do, so at some point I guess I'll have a bit of a holiday, and as Forrest Gump said at the end of his long run, I feel a little bit tired at the moment, but at some point I'll probably go again." So Adrian will likely be carrying on in F1 in the future, which, by his own words, should end the speculation about whether he'll retire or not. Now the question becomes, where will his future in Formula One take him? Having previously admitted to some emotional regret at never working for Ferrari and never working alongside Lewis Hamilton, a trip to Italy for the swan song to one of Formula One's greatest careers has been the favourite outcome for many people. However, they're far from the only interested party. McLaren Racing Chief Executive Officer Zak Brown has said never say never about recruiting Newey. Williams team principal James Vowles said he approached him and had a light conversation. Aston Martin are believed to have made him an offer, although the team officially deny that. Mercedes said they would definitely take him on, though Toto Wolff did say that even Newey wouldn't be able to resolve his team's current crisis. With Hamilton saying it would be a privilege to work with someone who is absolutely at the top of his wish list, Eddie asked Adrian if it felt good to receive such praise and admiration. Newey responded, "It does, I have to admit. The Miami Grand Prix was strange because I was there with Red Bull in a strategy function, hence being on the pit wall, but I wasn't involved in any of the engineering decisions or in any of the engineering meetings. I was just being wheeled around for the press, basically. It's not what gets me up. I never really think about it. I never thought it would be big news, to be perfectly honest. I never really thought about it. For it to be in all the flipping papers and on the telly and stuff was almost a bit of a shock." While Hamilton laying the praise on thick doesn't sound like it's done too much to influence Adrian's decision, talk about a Ferrari contract has been growing rapidly. Newey negotiated an early release from his Red Bull contract that allows him to start working for another team in early 2025, in time for him to have a major influence on the design of that team's car for the new F1 technical regulations that are being introduced in 2026. If it is Ferrari who are going to sign him, then they'll be desperate to get him on board as soon as possible to maximize his input in the 2026 car. The reports coming out of Italy are that the deal with Ferrari is already signed, or if the ink isn't dry yet, it will be soon. A move to Ferrari would definitely come with a big pay rise. Adrian's already one of the best paid employees in Formula 1, with an estimated yearly salary of £15 million or just shy of $19 million. There are actually only 6 drivers who are currently paid more per season than he is. That number will no doubt increase at the Scuderia, and in addition to helping with the Formula 1 team, Ferrari would have a lot more to offer. The WEC team is very successful, and with a less prescriptive set of technical regulations, working in that series would give Adrian a chance to really flex his muscles. Then of course there is the Ferrari production car business. The incredible success of the Aston Martin Valkyrie and the hype surrounding the RB17 hypercar, a 1,250 brake horsepower, £5 million V10 hybrid rival to the Aston Martin Valkyrie, will have caught Ferrari's attention. Both of those were designed with the help of Adrian, and a Ferrari with his design input would likely be even more tempting to the lucky few with the funds to afford such a car. Newey has a lot to offer Ferrari, and they'll be willing to offer a lot to secure his services. If the reports from Italy are true and the deal is already done, then Ferrari's home race in Imola would be the perfect place to make the announcement, so maybe we'll hear more as the weekend progresses. What are your thoughts on Adrian Newey staying in Formula 1? Will his input help Ferrari or any other team start 2026 with a big advantage over their rivals? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.